Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In today's video, we're not going to look at the NRL, we're going to look at the SuperCoach AFL. So for round 4, um, so I scored 21.05, which just slightly above average, so we'll take that. Um, still just outside the top 40k, so we would have liked to see a little bit more of a bump in the rank. Um, but it is what it is. So let's have a look at the team. And so starting off with Nick Dacos. So went the VC on him mostly because I was away for the majority of the weekend, so I wanted to really have a go on someone on Thursday night. Dacos was the obvious choice, and he absolutely went off. So 151, which is pretty cool when you can take that. Um, and after that, it's a little bit more disappointing there with Sam Doherty. 71. So, he's just sort of struggling without Walsh in the midfield, having to play, a bit of a different role to what he's used to. So, he's one I'm thinking about getting out of this week. Will Day, he's going good, 107. So glad we brought him in. Um, might be a chance of not being available this week. I heard something about might be on report for something. I couldn't see anything this morning having a look around the internet, but it is still pretty early, so we'll see how that pans out during the week. But he's not going anywhere anytime soon. Buckley with an 80, so not the 90s he's been getting the last couple of weeks, but that's still solid for the price. Still making cash, so he's doing the business. McKenna, so 86, so it's again very solid effort from McKenna. He's making good cash, scoring points. Um, so yeah, he's in there for the long haul. And Jones, so 45, he's one that is on the chopping block as well. He's made a bit of cash, 30k, so not a lot, but the break even's already up at 36, so there's potentially higher scoring picks, or picks that'll make some more cash, I should say, that we can bring in. Wilmot, 50, Cowan, 51. So, they're just ticking away, making some money. Wilmot must be close to 190k. There you go. That's pretty handy. And Cowan's at what, about 60 something. That's good. We'll take that. Um, into the midfield. So Bontempelli, 122. Yep, that's fine. Has lost a bit of cash, but I think that's more off the back of his other performances. Josh Kelly, 108, so turning up. Always happy with that. Tom Green, not quite turning up, but 99, close enough. And then our mid prices scoring mid price scores. So Hopper, 75, Warple, 75. Yeah, so Hopper obviously has that higher score in his average, and Warple has the lower one. So just having a quick look. Yeah, so the 119 is still on that 3 round average. So Hopper has got some more money to make. Warple, um, he has that low 45 in his average, so um, he might not make a lot of money this week, but then could kick again. And particularly if Day's out, that could actually help Warple. Ashcroft 75, so he's doing what we hoped he would do. Jimby, so he started so well, you'll excuse a 40. And Constable, he's become my loophole option for VC captain. So we've got Mackenzie's 49, which was slightly ahead of 47 and 45 for Baker and Davey. And so then on to the rucks where, Witts was a late out and I couldn't do too much about it because of I was out camping for the weekend. So that's why I guess, I had day costs as VC. But fortunately, Radigalia come in and saved me. So having the non I guess the playing ruck in R3 has helped me out massive there. Marshall 96, so going at average, not making a lot of money. Um, so, someone we might want to try and look at getting out of also. Um, Dunkley with 84, so he's been disappointing, but I guess the fact he's still averaging over 100 suggests that he's doing all right. He's up there with the rest of the forwards, except for maybe this guy. But Taranto 114 is nice. Rosie, his average is just dipped under 100 now, but I don't think any cause for concern. Goulden 102, yep, so that's good, right on his average there. Zeeble with the 92, and so he's still ticking along close to 100. And Harry Sheasel another ton. So this guy's been unreal. What's he made? 190. Okay, 183. There you go. So and he's still what a negative break even. That's delicious. Chandler, so 59. So I guess probably his lowest score for the year, I'd imagine. Yep. So yeah, we obviously missed that big price jump, but he's still got negative break even. Um, Looks like the D's have a pretty good run in the next few weeks, so yeah, I'm sure he'll continue making some cash. And I guess on the flip side, Fergus Green actually got his highest, I believe, for the year 73. Yep, lovely. So most minutes as well, but more productive as well, which is going to sort of really kick off his cash generation as well. So that's how the team went. And then I guess thoughts on trades for this week. So I suppose there's two players that we want to target. One being Jordan Dawson. So he had a massive weekend, 173. But if you look at his other scores, they're still really good. And obviously we've got someone like Doherty averaging 85. They started off at a similar price point. So it's going to cost us a bit of money to make that happen. But I guess that's how it goes sometimes. um, and then the other one is Timmy English. So um, yeah, so obviously he's made money already. He's still going to go up. He's got like Port this week, whose rucks aren't fantastic. Maybe against Shrek he'll struggle a bit perhaps, but after that a few nice sort of ruck games there as well. And I guess the reason why we didn't go with him at the start was because we could only really afford one premium, and Wits and Marshall and English have the same buy, so we knew we couldn't sort of sit on them. Um, so yeah, so I guess the options are that the player we want to get out is out of is Lockie Jones. So with some DPP, we can go all the way forward. We've got two options: either Van Ruin, who's a bit cheaper, at 123k. Or the other one, if we scroll down just a bit, is Samson Ryan. So um, looks like Richmond are going to be a bit short on rucks for at least a couple of weeks. Um, I think Nankervis is out for quite a while, but Soldo is still a couple of weeks away. Tom Lynch is going to have a week off, I think, as well. So in terms of if we have him here as a scoring player in the forward line, Samson Ryan might do us a little bit better than Van Ruin. So if we were to make that trade, then we could possibly upgrade Doherty. So I've just got to go back to the summary. So upgrade Doherty to Jordan Dawson. That could work. The other move that I would be interested in making is Marshall to English. So you can see we can't quite afford that. Obviously, we could if we just switch to Van Ryn. That would work too. Alright, but then I guess like the old old El Paso ad. Why can't we have both the soft and the crunchy tacos? So if we just reset all that, so Doherty out, Dawson in, so we need to make 200k. So we have a couple of options. The first one, Ben, we could maybe use a James Warple. So actually we need to activate the boost. Warple, and then as you can see, we can't quite afford Ryan, so um, sorry, so swing that. So we would have to bring in Van Roon in that situation. Just have to reset that. The other option that I was thinking is Jack Zeeble. You know, he's made 73k, um, and scored us some good points. Don't get me wrong, like 2 tons there isn't much to sneeze at, but um, I guess the argument as well is that those are fairly sort of easy fixtures. West Coast, Hawthorn in particular. It's got some tougher ones coming up. Brisbane, Melbourne there. Saints have been going well. So, but if we trade out Zeeble, we can then go the Samson Ryan route. And that also opens up the option of Radicalia as well if we want to look at that. Um, so I guess if we look at this, I'll probably undo it straight after. So how the team would look if we went this aggressive trading option is Constable McKenzie would go there. Um, Everything else would sort of sit as it is. Um, so obviously, we've still got Lockie Jones, which is not ideal. Um, and we've still got Warple, which, will only work if Day's out. And if Day's out, it's going to look like that. Or actually, probably the other way around, really. Luke Cowan, perhaps. Or take Wilmot if we have to. But yeah, we've still got Jones there, which isn't ideal. Um, and on the other side of things, the midfield's okay enough. Mackenzie at M8's not ideal but again, if Day's out, it could open up some more time for him in the midfield. So yeah, but we do now have Dawson. We have English and Wits, which I guess would be the dream combination as far as rucks go. So the Rowan Marshall experiment didn't quite work. And, the forwards are still solid enough. Obviously, next week I think Sheasel will get DPP in defence, so he could swing back and forward. Although you'd probably think he'd be best suited as a forward at the end of the season. Um, but again, we're missing out on another sort of bottom price rookie in Van Ruin. We missed out on Chandler. I think we missed out on Buckley's first price increase too. Um, we're missing Will Phillips. He's doing okay there in the midfield. Yeah, I don't think that would make us enough money, the Warple to Phillips trade. So it's I guess then also we've used another boost. So I think that only gives us 2 boosts left. But I guess sometimes if you consider bringing in number one defender, number one midfielder, upgrade ruck sorry upgrades, um, then I think that's fair enough. But yeah, whether we want to do the 2 or the 3 and then obviously which one of English or Dawson do we upgrade this week and which one we can hold off on is a question to be seen. But in terms of the vice captain and captain, if I went this way, it would be the 2 newbies. Dawson plays Thursday night, so that gives us the best look, particularly my loophole players on the Friday Arvo. and then Tim English as a captain against Scott Lysett and co. I think could go absolutely bananas. So that's sort of, I guess, why I'm leaning towards English. In which case, the VC might have to be Doherty. Really, he's the only Carlton player I've got. I don't have a Adelaide player normally, um, unless of course Will Day's out. Then that opens up, some more flexibility because he doesn't play until the Sunday. So it could be a good way to get Jones off field, for example. So it'd have to be someone before. Well, it'd have to be anyway because of English. So it could be, yeah, it could go Dunkley. Hope he fires up, or Goulden against Richmond. Josh Kelly plays a bit too late. Jared Witts against Shrek, perhaps. Well, that's a bit risky. And yeah, so I guess, it all probably comes down to finding out what's going on with Will Day. Because, yeah, I guess if, he's out, I don't know if we can really lean on Lockie Jones. But then, I guess, we don't get both of these guys. And if we look at their break even, so Tim English 87, I think he'll easily get past that. And Dawson 67. So I think this is the week to get on both. Um, yeah, so it might end up being something like this. Yeah, we'll just have a play around, see what we can come up with. But anyway, that's enough rambling, I suppose. So um, get, feel free to comment if you've got any thoughts or suggestions on how this could be improved. Um, if you are enjoying the AFL content on what is mostly an NRL channel, feel free to give it a like, subscribe to keep up to date with all the other videos as they come out. And other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.